Imagine a city once considered the center of the world, a hub of culture, trade, and power. A city that had withstood centuries of conflict and emerged resilient time and time again. But in 1453, after nearly a millennium of grandeur, that city, Constantinople, finally fell. How did this happen? What caused the great Byzantine Empire to collapse after centuries of dominance? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. The economic decline of the Byzantine Empire began as early as the late 6th century, driven by a series of crises that hit both its agricultural and trade systems. Once thriving on its strong agricultural output and vast trade networks, the empire faced mounting challenges. A key example is the decline of the wine industry, which had been an important export, but its downturn contributed to broader economic struggles that shook the empire's financial foundation. This economic weakening worsened as the empire lost control over crucial trade routes, especially in the eastern Mediterranean, making it harder to sustain its financial stability. To make matters more challenging, the empire grew increasingly reliant on Italian maritime republics for trade, underscoring its growing dependence on external powers for essential goods and services. But the problems didn't end there. The empire was also facing serious military setbacks. One of the most important turning points was the Battle of Manzikert in 1071. After this devastating loss, the Byzantine Empire started losing critical territories to the Seljuk Turks. These territorial losses weren't just about land, they were about resources. The shrinking empire meant a smaller agricultural base, fewer soldiers to defend its borders, and internal conflicts that made things even worse. Speaking of internal conflicts, political fragmentation was another nail in the coffin for the Byzantines. Internal strife tore the empire apart, with various factions battling for control and weakening central authority at a time when unity was crucial. One of the clearest signs of this disarray was the failed attempts at church unification during the Council of Ferrara-Florence. Instead of bringing the empire together, these efforts only deepened the chaos and division among the Byzantine leadership. With the empire divided and its leadership in turmoil, they couldn't form a unified front to resist the advancing Ottoman forces. In the end, this lack of cohesion meant they couldn't gather the resources or forge the alliances necessary to defend Constantinople, sealing the empire's fate. The fall of Constantinople in 1453 was nothing short of a dramatic spectacle, filled with fierce military conflict, and ending in the Ottoman Turks' capture of the city. But this wasn't just a sudden, isolated event, it was the final chapter in a long, slow decline that had been centuries in the making. By the time the Ottomans laid siege, the Byzantine Empire was already a shadow of its former self. Its military strength had withered, and its political structures were in complete disarray. While the late Byzantine period still saw impressive cultural and artistic achievements, these couldn't make up for the empire's crumbling military power and its deep-seated economic troubles. The stage was set for the inevitable. In examining who is to blame for the fall of Constantinople, it is crucial to consider both internal and external factors. Internally, the Byzantine leadership's inability to adapt to changing political and military realities played a significant role in the empire's decline. The reliance on outdated military strategies and the failure to modernize the army contributed to the empire's vulnerability. Externally, the rise of the Ottoman Empire, driven by its own military innovations and expansionist ambitions, posed an insurmountable challenge to the already weakened Byzantine state. The combination of these internal weaknesses and external pressures ultimately led to the empire's downfall. In the end, the fall of Constantinople wasn't just a single tragic event, it was the heartbreaking conclusion to a slow, painful decline that had been centuries in the making. Economic crises, crushing military defeats, and internal political strife all chipped away at the once mighty Byzantine Empire, weakening it until it could no longer stand. Yes, the Ottomans delivered the final blow, but the empire's fate had been sealed long before, as its internal struggles mounted and its strength faded. It's impossible not to feel a sense of sorrow and loss for what was once one of the world's greatest civilizations. The fall of Constantinople serves as a sobering reminder of the fragility of empires, how even the most powerful can crumble under the weight of time, conflict, and division. We mourn the end of this great empire, knowing that its story, though filled with achievements, ended in tragedy. If you're fascinated by this, check out our previous video on the fall of the Roman Empire to see how these two great empires were more connected than you might think. And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.